Stupid. Hello, and welcome back to the Pixel Street Podcast. This is episode 55 for the week of April 12th, 2019. My name is Joel Campos, and as always, I am joined with the man who is coming out with his own John Hanson mini classic, John Hanson.
Yeah, it's available for the low price of $100, and it will include only the European version.
How many games?
All the classic ones that you love and just need to be in this, none of those. We're just gonna throw in, Dog Petter Simulator and...
Oh, so those are all basically the same games that I can already get on my current gen consoles?
Oh, yeah, let's just call it for what it is, yeah.
Oh, you see,
but only $100.
I didn't think you'd actually come out and say it.
You know what? I just know that you're gonna give me money anyway, so let's just do it.
All right. Well, you heard it here first. Breaking news on the Pixel Street Podcast. Go ahead and follow us on Twitter at Pixel Street Pod. Check out our Facebook, Pixel Street Podcast, and you can catch us on Friday mornings on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Podcasts, wherever you would like. We're also on YouTube by searching Almost Random over there. Yeah, let's just
suggest some topics for us to talk about.
Yeah. I mean, anything. Literally about anything. It could be about your dog. We'll probably talk about it.
I would love to talk about your dog. I love your dog. Your dog is amazing.
John, number one dog in video games. What dog is it?
Ooh, you really put me on the spot here.
You got 10 seconds.
Dog meat, because dog meat is a good boy.
I think that my favorite one would probably be, what is his name? Chop from Grand Theft Auto 5.
Yeah, Chop is a good boy too.
That is one good boy. But that's not what we're here to talk about, John. This week we are going to be talking about Jedi Fallen Order and what we should expect from that coming this weekend. Some Troy Baker controversy in regards to Borderlands 3. And what else are we talking about? Mortal Kombat, the co-creator, would like to branch out. So we're going to talk about that in just a bit. Let's get into some of the new releases we are excited about in this coming week. For those of you that don't know, me and John just look at this list from VGReleaseList.com. And there's some awkward silence as we look through the list. There's a lot of random games.
Because we are very good at our job.
There's a lot of random games that we don't really care about. Like Bot Vice for Switch. Box Align.
Yeah, that will be the one. I do real quick want to give a quick shout out to a game that came out this week on Tuesday called Dangerous Driving. And if you like the Burnout games from the past, this is the same people that made those games, and it looks just like Burnout 3. Unfortunately, at the moment, it looks like there's only single player in it, and it's like $30 right now, so not a full price game. It's definitely one I plan on picking up when I have the extra money.
Yeah, I've seen quite a few people on my friends list playing it, and I heard a lot of podcasts talking about it. And I've never got into the Burnout games, but everybody is saying that it's just like Burnout 3, which is what everybody wanted, I guess.
Yeah, for sure. Like I said, definitely a game I'm going to pick up sometime here in the future. Also, today, when we're recording, Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice comes out on the Switch.
Yeah, April 11th.
A lot of people love.
What is Reigns Game of Thrones? I feel like I've seen this on my iPhone or something.
I don't know. It says it's on the Switch. I can't... I want to say it looks familiar to me, too.
It's $3.39.
On the Switch?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Then, yeah, that's a phone game.
Yeah, I'd imagine it's a mobile game that they're just porting over to the Switch just in time for Game of Thrones this weekend.
Yeah.
Let's see, moving on. Hellblade? Did you say that? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I just said that. Vaporum came out today on PS4, Xbox One, and Switch. That is actually the game I just recently reviewed for cultureofgaming.com, so you can head over there and check out that review, see if it's for you.
Go and check that out. The next thing we got to shout out, coming out tomorrow, day of the podcast, Friday, April 12th, 2019. As you know, John Hansen is the resident VR guy on this podcast. And so he, of course, will be first in line to pick up the Nintendo Labo VR kit.
Oh, yeah. No joke, though. They recently announced that Mario Odyssey and Breath of the Wild will have VR modes with this, and I'm kind of interested just to give them a try.
It makes me so curious. Also, those going to be free updates? Is that what I read?
I believe so, yeah.
So, realistically, you don't really need the Labo kit. You know what I mean? Like, it's probably going to work similar to how phones work. I have no idea, though.
Yeah, I really don't know, because I haven't really looked at the VR kit too much, but it looks like the Switch just sits in the cardboard and you're looking at it through goggles, just like a phone thing does. A phone VR, it just sits in front of you. So, technically, I don't think so.
Yeah,
but
give it a week and somebody will, like, give you an Amazon cart that's like, here's a $4 Labo VR kit.
Yeah. Also, I kind of wonder if maybe those will be like codes in the box itself, so they're not just, oh, here, let me just put it up to my face without the cardboard. You know what I mean? Like they're using that to kind of sell the VR kit.
Yeah, I could definitely see that.
But I don't know for sure.
Coming April 16th, we have yet another Final Fantasy X and X-2 remaster coming to Xbox One and Switch. I never played those games, have you?
The 10 and 10-2 or any of the Final Fantasies?
10 and 10-2.
Okay. I the only Final Fantasy I've really put any time into was 15. Last year I played it for a bit. I do plan on buying, though, these ports and remasters on either my Xbox or Switch. I'm just kind of waiting for them to go on sale because I don't want to pay over $20 for...
Yeah, a 15-year-old game?
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, it's definitely something I'll probably check out when it comes on sale, because I do enjoy the Final Fantasy games, but there are a lot that slip between my fingers just because I didn't have time through college.
For sure.
Moving on, we got Wasteland 2 coming to Switch on Tuesday, April 16th. I know a lot of people are fans of that game.
Never touched it, so couldn't tell you.
I heard that it's kind of like got a Fallout vibe to it in terms of like the time, not really timeline, kind of like the post-apocalyptic feel.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha.
Also, World War Z coming to PS4, Xbox One, and Windows PC.
I'm actually very excited for that.
Is it supposed to look like a Left 4 Dead type of game?
Kind of. So from what I know of it, it's 4-person co-op, just like Left 4 Dead, and you're going through campaigns. It's third person, and also I believe there's no special infected. It's just hordes of zombies racing after you. So I'm just a huge fan of zombie games still. I know some people are really worn out on it. They could keep making zombie games for me, and if they're good enough, I'm going to keep playing them.
Yeah, right on. Definitely something to look out for. Another thing to look out for is Cuphead coming to Switch next Thursday, April 18th. You picking it up?
Yeah, I already have it pre-ordered.
Oh, nice. How much is it? 20, 25?
20.
Okay. Yeah, maybe I'll pick it up on Switch too.
Which is an amazing price. That's how much it was on Xbox One as well. So it's so worth it. If you are a fan of anything like this, you need to give it a try.
And then I think the last one on this list before the next show we're recording is Katana Zero. That's the one that was in that Nindy showcase recently.
Yeah, right? That's the one that it's kind of like Super Meat Boy in a way, kind of, right? Except it's not platforming. It's like getting gory. Through. Yeah, it's not platforming. It's just getting through all enemies with only a katana.
Yeah, I'm looking at a video right now, and it looks right up my alley. It looks really cool.
Definitely something I would like to give a try.
How much is it? $15? Oh, that seems like a steal.
That seems like a very good price, yeah.
All right, well, that wraps up the games of the weeks that we're looking forward to. Let's move on. Xbox backwards compatibility list. What is new, John? Is it just Ghost Recon Advanced Warfighter 2?
I believe so, and you were saying that is the free game for starting next week, right?
Yeah, starting April 16th, that is going to be the free game. One of the free games with gold.
So yeah, if you don't own it already, definitely don't buy it. But if you do own it, pop that disc right in and you can play it. Not sure if we talked about this one or not, but Brothers in Arms, Hell's Highway is on there too. I'm not sure if we talked about that last time.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Same with Air Mech Arena. I don't know if we talked about that, but those are two games that I've never heard of. Brothers in Arms I probably have, but Air Mech Arena, I don't know who voted for that to be put on the backwards compatibility list, but there you
go.
Right.
Brothers in Arms, it kind of looks like just another game that was trying to bank off of Call of Duty. Yeah.
So you know though, some dude saw Air Mech coming backwards compatible and fucking ran out and bought an Xbox.
That one guy. He's like, okay, time for me to move on from my 360.
Yeah, hold on. Now I'm curious. Give me a second. I'm going to go on Twitch and see if anybody's streaming it. Air Mech Arena. Okay, there's a game. No results found.
Oh, it doesn't exist.
They do have the game art in Twitch, so like people have played it on Twitch before.
So here, let's see if I can find when it was.
Oh my god, it's a curse. 666 followers.
Oh no.
I gotta follow just so that it goes up one.
Yeah, it was an arcade game on the 360. You know what? Just looking at screenshots, it doesn't look like it'd be a terrible game. It's a top-down strategy game like a Warcraft and StarCraft, it looks like. So actually, that doesn't look too bad. Oh, wait. Is this... Oh, this is the free game. Okay. All right. I remember this game now.
Oh, you played it?
I played a very little bit of it because I had other things to play at the time, but it's a free game on the 360, so backwards compatible. I kind of see why they would put it on there. It's like it wasn't gonna make much money anyway, so it's a free game. Give it a try if you want.
You can give it a go. Give it a go. Free game, backwards compatible. Let's go on to the games with gold. For the month of April on Xbox One, you can get The Technomancer. Fun fact, I got a review code for that game a few years ago, and I tried playing it. They gave me a PS4 code, and I got to some point where like I literally spent probably 2 hours in the game trying to figure out where to go, because I thought I was going the right way. There was an invisible wall, wasn't letting me go. I contacted the devs, and they're like, "Oh yeah, this is a known problem. You're like, if it won't let you go, you're gonna have to restart the game." And I was like 12 hours into the game, because this is like a very, very like big game, or not big hype wise, but like big, like there's a lot of content in the game.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I'm not restarting this game.
No.
And they're like, all right, yeah. They're like, yeah, don't worry about it. So I just didn't write about it. I feel like them telling me that I didn't have to play through it was like, all right, please don't write something bad about how you couldn't get past a mission.
Now that would be something that would really push me to write about it, because like I'm not gonna just let that one pass.
Yeah, I was so frustrated, and I was in an email thread with like Kristen, because I was like, I don't know what to do. Like, I can't just review the game based off what I played, because I didn't play that much of it. But I just decided not to write anything.
Gotcha.
I don't know. I was so frustrated at it that I just never wanted to see the name of the game again.
I've got it downloaded, but I haven't given it a try yet. Next up, we also have Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare 2. Have you given this game a try at all?
I don't know if I ever tried the second one, but I played a little bit of the first one. If you ever played any of the recent Battlefield games, like since 4 on, it's very similar to the playstyle of that, but like with a kid kind of vibe to it, because it's Plants vs. Zombies.
Gotcha. Yeah, I really went through the tutorial, and I think I played one online match, and it was fine, but like you said, kid game, so it didn't really catch me or anything. But
yeah, I have one of my buddies I play Xbox with quite a bit. His name is Loops73. He fucking loves this game, and I'm like, dude, you're like 46 years old. Like, why do you like this game so much?
Right.
And I think it's mainly because he just really likes playing Battlefield. So, and it's very similar to the playstyle of that, and it just kind of changes it up since it's very vibrant.
I do wonder if I would like it better if I was playing with a friend or anything.
Yeah. Also, we have Star Wars Battlefront 2, which is a free game with gold, and it's the OG Xbox version. So it's not the new one that was very controversial a few months back. But yeah, I never played the OG one, surprisingly. And my roommate was it my roommate? Or no, my buddy Kenny from work. He was like, "How did you never play that game?" I was like, "I don't know. I just never got into it when I was a kid."
Yeah, same here. I never tried it myself. But it's cool. We're seeing a lot of Star Wars games from the original Xbox come the backwards compatibility and the free games of the month lately. So really cool stuff. I think I've said it in the past. I'm just really a fan of them bringing any of the original Xbox games into the games with gold. So
yeah,
I really want to give it a try.
I wish they would bring some like super like classics like Fusion Frenzy, make that a free game. Or
I want to say,
or what was the
is that one on
game?
Game Pass?
I don't know. Possible.
I'm not sure. Whatever.
I'm not sure. What was the airplane game that was super popular on the OG Xbox?
Crimson Skies?
Crimson Skies, yeah.
Okay.
That one. I played the shit out of that game because it came free with Xbox Live back in the day.
But yeah.
You want to go over the PS Plus games?
Alright, for the month of April, we have Conan Exiles and The Surge. Haven't played either of these. I know quite a few people actually do like Conan Exiles. So that's a pretty big get. And The Surge, I believe, is a Dark Souls-esque game. But if I remember right, it doesn't quite scratch that itch. I'm not sure, though. I'm not into those kind of games.
Yeah, neither am I. Moving on to Twitch Prime, for the month of April, you can get Her Story, Inner Space, Joggernauts, and Keep in Mind Remastered. I've literally only heard of one of those games, and that's Her Story, and I could not tell you what it's about.
I haven't heard of any of these, let alone that there was an original, Keep in Mind.
Also worth noting, if you have Twitch Prime, you can get 12 months of Nintendo Online for free. You can do that anytime from March 28th until September 24th, and that does stack on your current non-family online subscription, which is pretty awesome. I still need to do this, but
definitely not an only reason to get Twitch Prime or Amazon Prime, but if you already have them, a great thing to redeem.
Yeah, I completely agree. All right, John, what the hell have you been playing?
So last week we had some issues and didn't record, but instead we did some streaming, and I whooped your butt in MLB The Show 19. Oh, baby! John's champion! Woo! He wins! Johnny wins! He's the greatest!
Are you done?
Wait. Woo! Okay, now I'm done. No, we streamed some MLB The Show. I've also been playing more franchise mode. I know you, last time we recorded, was talking about how you liked, there was a mode in there, Dynasty something.
Diamond Dynasty.
Diamond Dynasty. I'm just so stuck on just playing a baseball game right now. Like I've said in the past, I haven't played a good baseball game since MLB The Show 07. So I'm just happy to be playing regular baseball right now, and I am loving every second of it.
Yeah, I've been playing every day this week, from Monday until through Wednesday, I guess, because today's Thursday. I've been playing like 4 to 5 hours each day because we've been binge watching Game of Thrones to get my girlfriend caught up before Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
And I just have a monitor set up on my coffee table, my PS4 Pro, and I've just been playing MLB The Show while we watch. So I've been loving it, man. I'm so hooked on it, and like I'm perfectly fine with it because usually with sports games like Madden, I'll like burn myself out pretty fast.
Mm-hmm.
Like if this were Madden, I would have already burned myself out.
Yeah, no, I'm exactly the same way. But
there's so much to do in this game with because when I do Diamond Dynasty, I play some online matches, and then most of the time I'm spending trying to do the moments, which are just challenges and based on history.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been spending a lot of time doing those, and they add new ones like all the time. So Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Gotcha. Yeah, the only online I played was against you, and there was some issues we had. It was very stuttery, a little bit of lag every now and then. But
every MLB The Show I've played in recent years, when you play by yourself versus when you play online, it feels like a different game. Just because of that latency and everything, like it's not going to feel as smooth as when you're playing solo.
Gotcha. Yeah, I definitely love the difficulty though in this game, because one problem I've always had with basketball, or not basketball, just any sports games in the past is, okay, I'm starting out, I'll put it on easy, then I'll just be dominating them, and then I put it up a level, and then I'm like not winning anything. I really love how in this game it changes your difficulty as you're in the game for both your pitching and your hitting. So if you're just striking everyone out, your difficulty for that will slowly go up. My hitting also, just the difficulty slowly goes up. And I love that, just going through the franchise mode right now. I'm about a month and a half in on my season, and it's just, I'm actually in a lot of closely contested games, and I've lost a few, and it just helps it make it feel just as real as it could be, because I'm not winning like 15-2 like I would back in middle school when I was playing on the PS2, or I'm not winning a game of Madden like 95-3. So I really love this, and I think it's really helping keep me in.
Yeah, and to be clear, you can set it to whatever difficulty you want it at. But you can also, like John was saying, it's called dynamic, is like what the setting would be. So like there's all-star, rookie, all-pro, whatever they are. And then there's one that's just called dynamic, I think it's called. And that's the one that fluctuates based on how you're doing, which is really awesome. That's the one that they use if you play Road to the Show, which I started this week. Mm-hmm. It's where you make your created player, and then you play like a few, I guess it's like a scouting report games, and then you put in the draft. And so I got drafted by the White Sox because I told them that I like the Sox, and I looked online, and it doesn't guarantee that that's the team that'll draft you. It'll just be like, oh, you express interest, here you go. But yeah, I got drafted by the Sox, and I've just been going through it, and it uses that dynamic difficulty setting as you play. So like you said, it gets harder and easier depending on what you're doing.
Yeah, man, this might really be the best baseball game I've ever played. I mean, there's not a ton there, but like, it's just so good.
It is very good. I'm sure we're going to keep talking about it in the weeks to come.
For sure.
So that's one that we've both been playing. I've also been playing more Borderlands Game of the Year. And that game's just so much fun, man. It has its problems, like the UI is completely fucked, man. Like, it's so stupid. So if you are losing health in that game, like you're about to die, and if you're playing co-op, okay, so if you're playing solo, you would pause the game, which would pause everything around you to pull up your inventory, and you would go down to use your med kit. And you can't bind that on one of your D-pads like your guns. So if you're playing online, you can't pause the game. So if you're about to die and you hit pause to pull out your med kit or whatever, chances are you're going to die. Because everything's still just shooting you, and you're trying to go through your inventory to find your med kit. And that it's very annoying. Because I've mainly been playing this co-op.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's got that. So it just, in that sense, it feels old. But other than that, I've been loving it, man.
That's cool. Personally, I've never been a huge fan of the Borderlands games. I've played all of them. 2 is the only one I've finished, though. And just, it's not a game I can play solo. It's just not fun enough for me. And when I do play it in co-op, I'm like, okay, that was fine. It's a game. It exists. It wastes time. But it's never a game that I would go out of my way to play. I am kind of wondering just what the reception for Borderlands 3 is going to be when it finally releases. Because I kind of think people are going to be let down. There's a lot of excitement around it right now, which is cool, but I just don't know. I think in a day and age when you have Destiny 2 and Division 2 just being so popular right now, going back to this Borderlands style of gameplay is just going to be like, okay, this is fine, but who knows?
Yeah, I think that there's a lot of the times these old game franchises that go away for like 10 plus years and then come back, they're always way overhyped. Way overhyped, and then everybody's let down. Like Kingdom Hearts, for example. If Kingdom Hearts 3 came out, I don't know, 5-6 years ago, I feel like people would be like, all right, that was an all right game. But the fact that people got to sit on it for so long and just hype it up in their head, like, oh, it's going to be epic. Like, they've been working on it for 10 years. I don't know. What was the other... There was another example of that pretty recently, right?
The only one I can think of is The Last Guardian.
Oh, yeah, that's it. The Last Guardian.
Yeah, where everyone was so excited for it for such the longest time, and then it finally came out, and no one really said it was a bad game. It was fine.
It just wasn't as hyped up as people thought it was. Same with, the other one I'm thinking of, Final Fantasy 15. Wasn't... Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was in development for like 10 plus years.
Well, I know it was for a very long time, but I want to say that was actually a very positive one.
I don't know, man. When it came out, they had a chapter in it that was completely... It sucked. I played through it when it came out. I might be thinking 13.
After it got some bug fixes and everything.
Yeah, I think it was after the bug fix. Because there was one chapter where you literally just had to hide from some dude in a maze of halls, and you had no idea which way to go. It took me like 3 hours to beat.
Gotcha.
Just that chapter alone. Hold on, I'm looking up right now. How long was it? Yeah, approximately 10 years is how long it was in development for.
Yeah, I knew it was in for a long time.
But yeah, if that chapter wasn't in the game, I would have loved it.
That's cool.
But I still did enjoy my time.
All right. So my next game I've been playing is Devil May Cry 1. Like I said, Joel made me... Yep, I beat Devil May Cry 1. Joel made me a bet to have all 3 done by E3. Is that what we said?
Yeah.
For the HD remaster, so I got the first one done, and I started the second one, but I'm only 1 mission in. I've been playing too much of something else that I'll get to here in a bit. But very early 2000s game. I think I've said it before. It's it has some moments where I'm like, oh man, this is really not good. And then it has those same kind of moments. I'm like, oh man, this is taking me back. I love this. I really enjoyed it, and I'm excited to get further into Devil May Cry 2.
Yeah, I mean, some of those old games don't age very well, but I mean, at least you got through the first one, which I'd imagine is probably one of the hardest ones to get through just because of how old it is.
Yeah, for sure. There definitely were points where it did that thing where it's like, okay, I'm here, I have no idea where to go, so I would spend a lot of time just running all over the place, having just no real clue of which way I should go, because the whole entire world is pretty much open to you at some point, so you could just get lost in it. I feel something like the original Resident Evil, that's something that would happen to me a lot, is like I'd get a puzzle item and then not know where to put it when I was a kid. So there were a few points where I had to look up a guide, but overall I really enjoyed the boss battles in it, and Dante's movements were a lot of fun. I really am excited to see just how that evolves over the next couple of games.
Yeah, I heard Devil May Cry 5 is just awesome.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
Like the way, like movements and, I don't know, the fighting. I heard it's really cool.
Yeah, I've been hearing that it's an early contention for Game of the Year.
The facial animations, I heard that those are really good in that game.
Yeah, I've been hearing that too. I've also been seeing things where, like, they put out a video of them, like, doing the animations, like, in the studio. You know, like when they're getting the motion capture and everything. And it just looks really funny because it's just, like, 5 Japanese dudes and they're like flipping and spinning and stuff and then throwing stuff at each other, and then one's carrying a toy of one of the characters and having him do flips and stuff.
That's funny.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm looking forward to hear what you have to say about the rest of the series as you go through it. Is Devil May Cry 4 on Xbox?
Yeah. There is a remaster of it.
Oh, okay. That's
I wanna
separate from the HD collection or whatever?
It is, yeah. So I
That
want to say the
sucks.
first 3 games were like PS2 only. So they just remade those, and I want to say Devil May Cry 4 came out on 360, but I'm not sure.
Gotcha. But yeah, we'll hear about that more in the future. Moving on, the last game I played in the past week, or I guess 2 weeks now, is The Walking Dead, the final season. I did not beat it, didn't finish it. I did beat episode 2 of it. But yeah, I want to try and beat it in the next few weeks here. Just because I want to get it, out of the way, and I don't want it to get spoiled for me.
Mm-hmm.
I was already listening to a podcast, and I skimmed through, and it stopped, and I heard like a slight spoiler. And I was like, all right, I got to turn this podcast off because I'm just going to ruin it for myself trying to skip through.
Yeah, for sure. Have you started episode 3 yet?
No, I have not. So
Okay.
I literally just finished 2, and I hit download on episode 3. So the way, slight spoilers, I guess, if you haven't beaten it. But as I go through it, we're probably going to be talking about it here. Episode 2 ended with... well, yeah. They get attacked at that... It's an old school, right?
Yeah.
They get attacked, and then some people from your village get captured, and they run because you're pretty much pushing them back, right? So they run, and we captured one of their people as well, who they thought was probably dead. Like, he couldn't walk because he broke his leg. All jacked up. And actually, I did launch episode 3, but I didn't do anything. But I did launch it, and I have to go interrogate that guy that stayed back to find out where their camp is.
Yeah. That actually doesn't... That gets over with very fast in the 3rd episode, so it's not much to it. But episode 3 overall is my favorite of the whole season.
Episode 3 and 4 were done by after Telltale closed, right?
Yep, they were done by Skybound. They're the people that... They're Robert Kirkman's company. They make the Walking Dead comics and everything.
Okay. Yeah, I'm interested to see how the whole story ends. From what I've been hearing, it's pretty underwhelming. I don't know.
I cried in episode 3, so...
Okay.
I just as a person that has played the entire series, I really loved episode 3. Episode 4, we'll talk about it later.
Alright, sounds good. What else have you been playing?
Alright, so I've been playing a lot of Apex Legends. I don't know why, really. I just, out of nowhere, got into it. I was just jumped on and played with some friends, and I'm like, okay, this is fine and everything. And then I went on a round where I got like 8 kills. And I'm like, oh, okay. So I just kept playing. And now a big thing with Battle Royale games in me is just they're not fun to play alone for me, really.
Yeah, I completely agree.
But this one, the last few days here, I've been jumping on and playing alone and enjoying myself. I haven't won any games alone or anything. But it's, I routinely... get up
Apex definitely makes it easier to win when you're playing by yourself with 2 other randoms, just because of that ping system they added. That was a huge game changer for Battle Royale games.
Yeah, for sure. But it's really enjoyable. I am getting annoyed with how many like messages and everything, invites I'm getting from like people I don't know in games.
Yeah,
like,
I mean, that goes with any competitive type of game like that. Like even Overwatch, man.
Well,
I'll play one game of Overwatch and get flooded with invites for some reason.
Well, yeah, that would happen every now and then in Overwatch, but like Apex, it's happening like almost every other game. I'm like, oh my god, leave me alone, people. I just jumped into a game with you. I don't want to keep playing with you.
Dude, and the thing is like I've had people, which I'm assuming are like little kids trying to find people to play with, that like I haven't, like maybe I played one random game with them like 4 months ago. And, like, I haven't played that game in over a month now, and I'll still get, like, game invites from these people, like, to play Apex. It's like, yo, don't you see I'm watching Hulu? Like,
yeah, like 2 days ago, like, I just have my own party and everything, and I'm just playing alone, and like, this one guy, we get out of the game, we finished, like, 2nd or 3rd, so we did pretty well, and then he sent me, like, 8 invites in a row afterwards. I'm like, dude, I'm not playing with you. I'm already in my next game. And then he started sending me party invites. I'm like, dude, leave me alone. And then he added me, and then just nothing else for the rest of the day. I'm like, okay, that's finally over with. Then the next day, I'm not even on Apex. I'm playing Overwatch, and he starts sending me invites again to Apex. I'm like, I don't know you, dude. And then he sends me a message like, do you have a mic? I'm like, okay, that's it. And I blocked him, but it was so annoying.
I had to block some kid who was doing the same thing, kept sending me invites and party invites to play like Fortnite or something. And it got to the point where I was getting the notification on my phone while I was at work that this kid wanted to invite me to a party. It's like, why? Like, is he going in his friends list of people he follows and seeing people that are offline that might get on their Xbox to play with him? Like, what is going on?
Yeah, it's really
frustrating.
Annoying.
But I was probably that kid back in the day.
Yeah, I might have been if I grew up with this kind of online gaming.
Yeah.
All right, so moving on to my final game, I played through What Remains of Edith Finch on Xbox. It's on Game Pass right now.
Is that like an episodic game? Like
no, it's not. It's not episodic. It's a walking simulator though, kind of like a Gone Home.
Okay.
And I gotta say I really enjoyed it. Gone Home was a game where I was like, man, this is boring. I don't care about this story. That I just want to get through it.
What about where do you fall on Firewatch?
I never played Firewatch.
Oh, I actually really liked Firewatch. But go ahead and continue.
But What Remains of Edith Finch was brilliant, to say the least. Great storytelling. It was really cool seeing all the different things that happened to her family. If you don't know, it's just a story about the Finch family. They have this curse on them that bad things happen to them, and she is the last remaining Finch, so she's gone back to her family house after her mom has died, and she's just looking for clues as to what happened to the rest of her family. And
is it scary?
No, it's not scary at all.
Okay, because I went into Gone Home not knowing anything about it, and I was fucking scared, man. Let me tell you.
Nothing happens
so
in Gone Home, though.
I know, but I was scared because it's a creepy old house. Nobody's there. The door's like slightly open. I don't know, man. There's creaking. There was like a TV on staticky. I was creeped out, man.
Man, I don't know. Then maybe this would creep you out a little, but nothing happens. It's just walking around a house and like, oh, let's go to this flashback of how this family member died.
Did you say this is on Xbox Game Pass?
Yeah.
Cool. Maybe I'll try it out. Is it like one of those games you beat in like 2 hours?
Yeah, it was only a couple hours, and I got all the achievements and everything for it. So.
Oh, right on. I'll definitely give it a try then.
There is a game that is a tie-in with this, I believe, called The Unfinished Swan, but I want to say that's PS4 exclusive still. So to that point, I don't really understand everything in the game. There is, I mean, it's only one part of the game because it's her little brother that's gone missing. I guess he is the main character of The Unfinished Swan. So if you haven't played that, pretty much that just section of the game where it talks specifically about him, you're like, okay, it's just kind of out of nowhere, and they don't explain that in the game. But other than that, really great storytelling.
Oh yeah, I'll definitely have to give it a go. I like all those games that take like 2 hours. Those are because they're usually pretty good because they like thought them through pretty well in terms of story. So yeah, I'll have to give it a shot
for sure.
All right, that wraps up the games we've been playing in the past week. Let's get into some of the news. First up, we have an article from John Ryan on IGN. The title says, Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order art possibly leaked on Amazon. According to an Amazon listing, art for Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order has potentially been revealed. The image appears on a listing for Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order logo teaser poster t-shirt. That is one hell of a name of a t-shirt. Sold by the official Star Wars Amazon store. Initially spotted... I guess it doesn't matter. But yeah, it's a pretty cool looking poster. I'm excited for this weekend because this weekend is Star Wars Celebration here in Chicago. And they're going to be... Hopefully we see some sort of gameplay from it, I'd assume.
I think that was what they said. I think Respawn said that they were revealing it at this.
Yeah, but I mean, revealing it could just be like a trailer.
Just a trailer.
Yeah.
I mean, I would think that
for
show
a
something.
game, for a game coming out in the fall, and this being like the big Star Wars event of the year, I'd imagine they're going to show something.
Yeah.
A deeper dive into it.
But if not, we'll for sure see it at E3.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what this weekend brings from the Star Wars celebration. Not even just for this, like the movies even.
Mm-hmm. I do want to say, though, this image here, if this is the cover art for it, that's actually a really cool cover art.
Yeah, because it looks like a movie poster, which is, I think, what they were going for.
Yeah, so for anyone that hasn't seen this yet, it's a Jedi, and is that like a little droid by him?
It looks like a little droid or drone type thing, but I'd assume droid.
So they're standing on this rocky surface and right by this ocean where there's this crashed Star Destroyer? Is that what they were called?
Yes.
The really big ships. And then, so the really big ship is crashed in the ocean, and then there's a bunch of TIE fighters in the air on its way in. So definitely looks cool.
No joke, I even like that shirt that they're selling. It's literally just that huge image on the front of a shirt, and I'm kind of into it.
Yeah, it's cool.
You want to talk about the Inside Xbox coming next week?
Alright, so April's Inside Xbox is to tease Microsoft's E3 plans. This is by Brandon Tyrell on IGN. Inside Xbox, Microsoft's monthly Xbox live stream showcase returns next week with a look at what the gaming giant has planned for E3 2019. Additionally, Gears 5 developer The Coalition studio head Rod Ferguson will be on hand with some details about that could be concerning Gears 5 or Gears Tactics, but will likely be related to the Gears Pro circuit. So they did put out a little short video on their social media today that I was looking at, just kind of showing a bunch of stuff. There was like Sea of Thieves stuff in there. The Gears Pro circuit was in there as well. So just expect a big Inside Xbox to be airing next week. I think this is going to be filled with the news that not necessarily is going to be big at E3. I think this is where we get that discless Xbox One announced. Mm-hmm. But who knows? Maybe I would assume that there's like a big Sea of Thieves update coming. Possibly that Gears Tactics game. I don't know. Just maybe we finally hear something about it coming the Game Pass coming to Switch. Or I don't know.
I think it's too soon for that.
Gotcha.
I don't think we're going to see anything from Gears 5. I think it's very possible that they'll say something about Gears Tactics. I could see that being an Inside Xbox thing.
Yeah, Gears Tactics and the Pro Circuit.
If we hear anything from Gears 5, all it's going to be is a splash screen of the logo saying, "We'll see you at E3."
Yeah.
They're not going to reveal Gears 5 here, like the gameplay or anything.
No, but
it's right around the corner.
The esports of it, though, it looks like it's definitely going to be a big thing, and who knows, maybe we'll also see that Gears Funko game.
Oh no. Don't remind me. But yeah, that is coming up Tuesday, April 16th at 2 p.m. Pacific, so be sure to tune in for that. Up next, we have an article from Colin Stevens at IGN. He writes, Microsoft exec on Google Stadia. They don't have the content. This was updated today. A Microsoft spokesperson offered IGN the following comment on the subject of cloud gaming. It's a great time to be a gamer. At Xbox, we're putting players at the center of our vision for the future of gaming by delivering blockbuster content from Xbox Game Studios and our partners, growing the thriving Xbox community and giving them choice and opportunity in how they play across devices and through Project xCloud. Microsoft spokesperson, that's all it says. No name. So yeah, that's pretty interesting. I mean, it makes sense, right?
Mm-hmm. Now, ever since the Google Stadia announcement, we've seen a released company newsletter from Phil Spencer, kind of talking about how confident he was and what they were doing, and how the Stadia announcement like really validated everything they've been working towards. So Microsoft is very confident about what they're showing at E3 with xCloud, and I just thought that was reason enough to put that in here. They're saying, oh, we're gonna beat this. Like, that's...
Yeah, I mean, the Google stuff all seems really cool, but if you think about it, like, Microsoft, they have the groundwork laid out. With Game Pass, I'd imagine they've already talked to many of those developers of games they're adding or going to add or have added, you know, saying, like, hey, like, can we put in the contract this can be a part of this xCloud service in the future? Granted, if they decide to go with the, you know, Game Pass being available on xCloud route, you know, we don't really know how this whole thing's going to play out. But, like I said, Microsoft, you know, Xbox has all of the connections already, whereas Google, you know, they really don't. Granted, it's Google. Who's not going to answer that phone call, you know?
Right, for sure. Just really exciting stuff, and just more build up for what should be a huge E3 for Microsoft and Xbox in general.
Yep. Yeah, it's going to be an exciting summer.
All right, so next up, Randy Pitchford says it was Troy Baker's choice not to reprise Tales from Borderlands role. So this is by Javi Gwaltney of Game Informer. One of the most enjoyable moments in the Borderlands 3 reveal trailer was seeing Reese, one of the two protagonists from Tales from the Borderlands, make a surprise return. He looks older and is sporting an iffy-looking mustache, but no doubt about it, that's our bumbling yet charming criminal lad Reese. Though fans have welcomed his return and have likely hoped for more of the cast to reappear, it appears that the man who gave Reese a voice isn't too happy about the occasion. Troy Baker, who also voiced Joel in The Last of Us and Booker DeWitt in Bioshock Infinite, recently revealed at a fan convention that he was not returning to voice the character, and even spoke at length about his dissatisfaction with Borderlands developer Gearbox, who co-developed Tales from the Borderlands with Telltale. He said, "I don't agree with Gearbox on how they're handling it. I really want Gearbox to know that if they're going to bring back characters from Tales from the Borderlands, it should be the people who originated the characters. They shouldn't just recast willy-nilly, because as a fan, that matters to me." So, I'll throw this to you first, since you're probably a bigger Borderlands fan than me. What do you think of this?
Granted, I did not play, what is it, Tale of the Borderlands or whatever?
Tales from the Borderlands.
Tales from the Borderlands, yeah. I didn't play that, but I don't know. Like,
Definitely should.
I heard it's probably the best Borderlands game.
Yeah,
arguably.
it is by far my favorite Borderlands game, and my second favorite Telltale game.
But yeah, other than that, I don't know. I think that it's kind of just miscommunication is my probably thought process. I don't know. I don't think either of them are probably lying. You know, like, granted, Troy probably didn't hear about it. But I don't know. Also, Randy Pitchford, he's kind of a sketchy guy. With all the articles that have come out lately and the flash drive.
And the flash drive, yeah.
So I could easily see him just, you know, lying to try and make people not question him about it.
See, that's my thing with this is, of the two, I'm going to believe Troy Baker much more than Randy Pitchford.
Yeah, because Troy Baker is like the creative one, you know. He's the
and
one that, like, that's a legit, you know, statement. Like, I would want to play him because that's... Yeah. I was him, you know.
In the voice acting industry, he is a superstar. Like, why would he lie about this? It just doesn't make much sense for him. So I truly believe that Gearbox never contacted him. From what Randy Pitchford was saying, the audio developer or whatever director, he said, "Oh no, yeah, Troy turned it down," which doesn't make any sense because we know Troy Baker loves to come back and reprise roles. He's done it so many times, and he's just...
I was listening to Kind of Funny Games Daily, and they were talking about how it's possible that Troy Baker, you know, he probably has people that, you know, book all of the stuff he does. And this quote from Randy Pitchford says, "You'll have to ask Troy. I was told by the audio director that he turned it down. Fortunately, with how... Is it Riz?
Reese.
Reese. With how Reese appears in the game, I don't think it actually matters at all. You'll see for yourself when the game comes out, and you may disagree with me on that or not." So, I mean, it sounds like Reese is
dying early.
Yeah, he's dying, like, right at the beginning of the game, it seems like. But either way, It's possible that like Troy's people like were contacted about this and they saw how small the role was and they were probably like, oh, it's not big enough role to even bring by him. You know, maybe the context just wasn't there. Maybe whoever contacted Troy or his people didn't say, you know, this is a role he already played.
Yeah.
So it could have just been a miscommunication. I'm interested to see how it plays out because I could definitely see Troy like being like, no, you definitely didn't contact us, or I could see him not saying anything just because he wants work.
Yeah. But yeah, until the game comes out and we find that Reese died right away, I think I'm siding with Troy Baker on this because I would never trust Randy Pitchford with anything.
It definitely sucks with whoever they cast as Reese for the Borderlands 3 because nobody's throwing his name into the mix. Everybody's just talking about Troy Baker.
I mean,
don't get me
you're
wrong.
going up against Troy Baker here. He's gonna win.
Yeah, I could easily see somebody starting like a petition, like make Troy Reese, and I could easily see a world where that happens.
Yeah, me too.
But it is what it is, I guess. Moving on to our last article of the day. This article comes from Stephen Watts from GameSpot. He writes, Mortal Kombat co-creator would like to branch out. Oh my god, this is a loud ad on this website. Okay. Mortal Kombat 11 is just a couple weeks away, marking the latest entry in NetherRealm's signature fighting franchise. The studio has dabbled in other franchises like Injustice, but it's most closely identified with Mortal Kombat. NetherRealm's name and logo are even explicit references to the series, but creative director and franchise co-creator Ed Boon says he'd like to see the studio branch out. I think our studio has a number of good games in it, and that are completely unrelated to Mortal Kombat. Boone told Game Informer, while we love making Mortal Kombat games, we would love to expand into other genres, other IP, other things like that for sure. Boone also suggested that the success of Mortal Kombat X is one major reason the studio hasn't moved on to another one of those ideas it has stored away. MKX notably sold 11 million copies, making it NetherRealm's best-selling game. One of the challenges of having your last game sell the most of any other game is it's hard to just stop from there and say we're done, he said. But certainly we could take a break from it and build up anticipation for a future title. This is pretty interesting because I don't know how I feel about it. Game studios make different games all the time, and I think it'd be interesting to see how it plays out if they do decide to go that route.
You know, let me do a quick search here because I want to direct your attention to some games of when Mortal Kombat did like try to do other things besides fighting games. So let's see, what was it? There was like an adventure game on the N64 where you played
by NetherRealm Studios.
It was Midway, so the company, that's what they were back in the day. It was Ed Boon and everyone.
I think that they were owned by Midway, though, weren't they? They
yeah.
branched off.
They Midway went out of business, and then WB bought them. So pretty much every time that a Mortal Kombat game like tries to go different, it just doesn't work out well. I'm not saying that whatever they would be doing here would be bad, but I would definitely not feel good about it until I saw the game. Ed Boon and his team are really good at what they do, and they make really good fighting games. I'm not sure if they could translate that into other areas. Not saying they definitely couldn't, but I definitely wouldn't trust it. And if they really want to stop working on Mortal Kombat, stop making it better than the last one. Like, we're looking at 11 here, and everyone's like, oh man, these fatalities are even better than 10. When 10 came out, oh, these are better than 9. Like, you're just giving yourself more reason to keep making these games.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think they're really complaining, because, like, they probably really enjoyed making the games. That's why they're so good time after time.
And they definitely enjoy the money from them.
Oh, yeah, that they do. All right, John, let's get to the topic of the show. Or do you want to save this for next week? Did you type that?
You typed it.
No. You want to talk about this?
Sure, let's talk about this.
All right, John. E3. Okay, hold on. Let me paint a picture for you. The year is 2025.
Uh-huh.
It is the beginning of June.
Ah, robot overlords, leave me alone!
No. Beginning of June. Will there or will there not be an E3 as we know it today?
Yes, there will be.
Yeah, I could easily see it going either way, but I for sure think that E3 is going to stay. And I think that, if anything, that's just going to pivot more towards like a PAX type show.
I mean, yeah, that's kind of the way that it's been moving towards, but I really think E3 is going to be around for the long haul. I mean, everyone's been talking about its demise for, like, the last decade? It just... There's too much excitement around it. Too many companies like that attention. Like, Microsoft is taking huge advantage of that this year, hopefully. And really, honestly, I think next year Sony is back in on it. Just with how Sony is acting right now, I just don't think they're releasing anything big this year. So they backed out, kind of like the same reason why they backed out of their own PSX last year. I just think they just don't have anything right now. They blew their load and they're like, okay, now we'll just try and keep you in the dark so that it looks like we can keep up that good word for the amazing games that we've released, but I just don't think for the rest of the PS4 lifeline that there's just nothing coming out that big in 2019. 2020, I think, is going to be a huge year for them. Last of Us, Ghost of Tsushima, and Death Stranding, possibly. But I just think in 2019, we've got Days Gone and then maybe Dreams. And I think that might be all that they're releasing.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I could see it going either way. I really hope E3 doesn't go away because, I like knowing, when we're going to get the big announcements. Like, granted, it's nice to get a surprise announcement here and there, but, like, it would suck to have to, watch one of those, what is it called? PlayStation, what is their...
State of Play?
Yeah, the PlayStation State of Play, every 3 months, just to be let down all the time,
Yeah, right. No, I completely agree. E3 is the most exciting time of the year for me as a gamer, and I look forward to it so much.
I agree. Most of the time I'm on vacation during that week, just because I usually plan it around my birthday, and my birthday is middle of June. And usually when I'm on vacation, I'm waking up early in Vegas to watch Microsoft's press conference or something.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I really hope it doesn't go away, but I could see it going away if people start favoring these smaller, Nintendo Direct style things, which is probably much cheaper on the companies, let's be honest.
Oh yeah,
and there's
definitely.
And there's a lot less memes from them because there's not human error in there anywhere, because they can just edit all the footage and everything.
Mm-hmm.
No awkward situations happening. But yeah, I really hope E3 stays.
Me too.
All right. Well, this has been episode 55 of the Pixel Street Podcast. Send us a topic via email or Twitter. Our email is pixelstreetpodcast@gmail.com. Send John pictures of your dog. He really likes dogs, apparently.
Yes.
Twitter is @PixelStreetPod. You can follow me on Twitter myself at Campo63. Also, go check out Respawn Aim Fire. I was just on their podcast last week. It was a lot of fun. Chad and his name's Holden, I believe.
Yeah.
Really cool dudes.
Yeah, no, I really enjoyed when I was on their podcast as well. We need to schedule a time to have them on here.
Yeah, I agree. But yeah, go check that out from last week. Since we didn't record, I couldn't plug it last week. But yeah, go check it out. I was on there last week. Not this past one, but the one before. John, where can we find you?
Send any dog pictures you have to @RevexShadows on Twitter. Otherwise, you can find me on YouTube. Just search Revex Shadows or go to youtube.com/JohnJW92.
Check out our Facebook as well by searching Pixel Street Podcast there.
And follow us on Twitter @PixelStreetPod.
Yeah. We will see you next week, hopefully.